Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial for the D2KEditor editor. Today we're going to be covering the mission settings, which can be accessed from up here in the mission tab. You can just go ahead and click mission settings or F10 and you're going to get greeted by this screen. Now this is a very important part of the program. Here you can set the starting credits for each faction. You can also use the set to all for both tech levels and credits to quickly set it for everyone. I mean, sometimes it can be useful. Same for the tech level, especially for the tech level, you can just put 7, it's gonna do it for everything. You can also reset it. I'm not exactly sure what this does, apparently not a lot, but whatever. And also the diplomacy, you can clearly notice this table right here, and this is pretty self-explanatory, but we will go through it anyway. So each house can you can set the diplomacy towards the other house. So the way you read this table is you see the label of Atreides, this row. This is the diplomacy from the Atreides side towards the target side. So if I change this box here, the Atreides will be allied to the Fremen. And as long as you have auto set both sides ticked, it's gonna do it the other way around. So see on the Fremen row, the Fremen have automatically changed as an ally. Now you can remove this, so you can get one-way alliances, which sometimes they can make sense. So right now the Atreides can attack the Fremen, but the Fremen will not attack the Atreides. So yeah, once again, this can work. Depends what kind of mission you want to make. Yeah, you can also set the neutral state, which, I mean, I'm pretty sure what this is. It's usually used for the smugglers in the single player vanilla campaigns, which means that if you attack by mistake one of their units, they are going to turn hostile. Okay, so the time limit. Now you can set a timer on the mission, like it appears on some missions. I guess Ordos Mission 6 would be an example that came really quick into my mind. You can set it here. See, so -1 is no limit, 25 is 1 real life second. Now, please note, 1 real life second, it's actually calculated if you are running the game on normal speed. So if you're running it on the fastest speed, which is most people use the fastest speed, it's not really 25 is gonna. So one in-game second is not 1 real life second. It's gonna go a bit faster, but still the amount of minutes and seconds you get on the screen in game can be determined by just doing some calculations based on these numbers. So 25 is a second, 150, 500 is a minute. So yeah, just play around with that. I'm pretty sure if you set it like negative a big number or something, the countdown it's actually going to go up if I'm not wrong. I think I tried that once and it does work. So yeah, you can play around with that. If you want like a mission timer or something just to know how much time it passed, you can use it that way, I guess. Now also the tileset name and the attributes. The tileset name is the file name for the tileset image data, so the graphics, and the attributes is the file name for the tile attribute. So I guess we're gonna cover that in the tileset tutorial because it's an entire discussion about how tilesets work. So yeah, we'll keep that out for now. So these are the basic settings. These things were present in the vanilla Dune 2000 game as well, and even with the old 1.06 patch without any of Funky Fresh's additions and stuff like that, these basic settings you could use them for a mission on vanilla Dune 2000 CD version 2. Now when it comes to the ini file additional mission settings, these are specific to the new patches that have been added to the Grand Mods edition and stuff like that. So you should usually use these because if you are going for uh, single player missions or something, it can really enhance stuff a lot. So you just have to click this, make sure you enable it. Now you can set the map name, the author, and the starting music. So you can actually choose a track, and it's going to read from all the tracks in your music folder in the game. So just go with one, give it a name like test. You probably can spell it better than me. put the author and stuff like that, and you can select the side that you're gonna be playing as. And yes, sandworm can work, and no, you will not be controlling sandworms and being able to eat other units. We will talk about that at some point when we get to the to modding units and stuff like that. But for now, let's ignore that. So just select the house, the mission number. Now this usually has to be 0 for custom missions that are loaded through the launcher. If you set it anything else than 0, then uh, if I remember correctly, that was used for the vanilla campaign. So uh, just keep it 0, okay? It's easier that way to explain. The Intel ID and everything that comes on this side, this is related to my new mission launcher functionality of installing mod files automatically without having to, copy paste everything all the time. The launcher will do it for you, and this is how you configure it. You select a campaign folder that has all the mods, such as War of the Landsred, and then you go for a mods folder for the particular mission. You can select the colors file, so this defines what colors the game will use for this particular mission. See, they already changed based on the color. See, you see the colors up there. This is the player init file. Is gonna change the names of these factions here, but I don't have one. And also very important one, the text.uib file uh, is gonna change the name of stuff in the game if you select one. But we will cover this later. The Intel ID is also something for showing Intel entries in the mission launcher in the briefing screen. But yeah, we're not doing it now, so that's gonna be later. Now the mission briefing, you can type whatever here. It supports probably an infinite amount of text. I mean infinite, virtually infinite. No, it has no limit. My briefings are usually crazy long, so yeah, I did not get to a limit yet. So yeah, and these are actually the string ID and the text. These are custom messages you can set in the game. So uh, you have to give it an ID, like usually just use 0, 1, 2, and so on, and then you can I don't know, type a message like reinforcements are moving in from the east. And this is stuff you can use, like, you can just use it with events and triggers. You can put this text on the screen just like normal messages in the vanilla game are, and you can define them here. You don't have to edit them in the text.uib file anymore. So you just add them here. You press insert on your keyboard to add more rows here. By the way, this is a very important thing that might not be obvious. And yeah, you can just add more. Make sure you always give them a different ID than the previous thing, you know. And yeah, this is the rule section. You can change some pretty interesting things here. So harvester unload delay, this is like how much it takes for the harvester to dump all its spice. You can do it like instant, like it's in Red Alert 1, where the ore trucks just dump it instantly. This is the block value, so how much per blob of spice you're gonna get in credits. The load spice delay, I think this is how much time it takes for a harvester to harvest a tile. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it is. Starport update delay, this is how often in-game ticks, by the way. So this is in-game ticks. Uh, this is how much it's gonna take for the Starport to update the prices and everything, the price fluctuation that happens in the Starport. The stock increase delay, this is how much it takes to increase stocks and available stocks, I guess. I didn't really use them, but they're pretty self-explanatory. And this is the probability, oh shit. This is the probability. Not exactly sure how it works, but it's a probability to increase stocks. It doesn't happen all the time, so and cost variation, well, they're pretty self-explanatory. You can just go ahead and play around with them. I've never used them, but they do work. I know they do work. CM Blast used them, so they clearly work, and they can make some really interesting missions. This is how much time the frigate takes to arrive. Now, if you are sick of waiting from T-5 all that way down, you can just put like something like one, and I think this would be instant. So yeah. Refinery explosion offset, I have never changed this. I don't exactly know. Probably you should not change them if you ask me, but whatever. The drive distance of the harvester is how far, the harvester will drive, I think, uh, to search for spice and stuff like that. Not exactly sure. You can try them out. Building repair value, I think this is how fast the buildings repair. But again, I'm not sure. I didn't really play around with these too much, except for this. The number of Fremen, I did change this in War of the Landsred. So if you put 4, there will be 4 Fremen coming out of the Atreides palace, instead of 2. You can also put 1 if you want just one single Fremen. Sandwort appetite, I also use this. It's how many units the sandwort will eat before going down in the ground, and waiting for a while to respawn. The initial sleep of the sandworm, so how much it takes for the sandworm to appear on the map after the game starts, because the sandworms don't spawn immediately. It takes a bit of time to have them. I don't think this is in game ticks, because 50 game ticks is like almost an instant, so this is not in game ticks. I don't know exactly in what it is measured, but just keep in mind it's not game ticks. Sandworm fed sleep. After he ate the sandworm appetite number of units, he's gonna go sleep for a while and then he's gonna come back. And the shot speed, this is when you killed the worm, it's gonna wait this amount of time until it respawns. Number of crates, not exactly sure what this is, might not work or might be only for multiplayer. Same for crates for per player, I'm not sure what this is. Uh, I guess this is the Devastator explode delay, Ignore distance, no idea what this is. Crate crash, crate cache, this is how much cash you're gonna get in skirmish or rather multiplayer maps when you collect the money crate. Show warnings might be something for debugging, I'm not sure. Now these last two, they are very useful. So the def hand accuracy, you know, if you are like myself, very disappointed about how the def hand works, like it's very inaccurate, you can change it here. If you put 1, don't go 0 by the way, that's gonna crash. Just put 1. If you put 1, the def hand will 98% of the times always hit the tile where you set it to hit. So this is pretty much accurate def hand that right here if you do 1. And infinite spice, you have to be careful with this one. It does indeed make the spice infinite, so you will never run out of spice, but it only works for thick spice fields. So if you set it to yes, and you come here and you add some spice. Where is the spice? Okay, you add some spice, you know, and you add some thick spice. Now, be very careful. The only tiles that will not run out, no matter how much you harvest them, are the thick spice. So these will never work out, but the rest, the normal spice will be harvested normally and will disappear. But the thick spice will stay forever. It's not gonna run out. So you can do things like just put one here surrounded by normal spice, and there will be one harvester going at this forever, and it's not gonna deplete. So yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything. Oh, this is the AI section. Now there are a lot of variables here, so this is gonna have its own video, man, because this AI is very complicated. So yeah, we're gonna keep it like this for now, and we'll cover AI in probably the next tutorial. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is useful for you, and you might be able to use it to make some cool missions. And so yeah, see ya at the next tutorial.